So go ahead and we'll just close our eyes as we're standing here. Starting to focus on the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing as deeply or as shallowly as is comfortable to you. Starting to feel the oxygen move in through the body. All the oxygen, the negativity leaving the body with every exhale. Start to let the day go. Start to bring yourself onto your mat. Getting our mind ready for the practice that we're going to do. Take just a few minutes here to start to recognize the breath. Taking a few more deep inhales and exhales here. And start to kind of just sway a little bit on your feet, kind of rocking back and forth, forward, backward, side to side, maybe some circles. Nothing too big, keeping our balance here, just kind of feeling the feet holding us steady, going through all four corners as they help us balance, keeping us upright on the mat. And then go ahead and just stand still for just a breath. And on our next inhale, we'll bring the arms up. As we exhale, we'll turn the palms out, bringing the arms back down. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhaling up. And exhale down. And we'll inhale the arms up. And on this exhale, we'll go ahead and bring the arms down, twisting to our left, dropping the arms down, bringing the gaze wherever's comfortable. If we're all the way over that back shoulder, or just to the side wall. Just a slight twist here, not too deeply, just waking the back up. And breathing into the twist. Take a few more deep breaths here. And on that next inhale, we'll go ahead and bring the arms up, bring ourselves back forward. And as we exhale, we're going to twist to that right side, dropping the arms down. Again, bringing that gaze either over that back shoulder or just to the side wall, whatever's comfortable right now. Breathing into the twist in the back. Trying to take some deep inhales and exhales, filling the back, filling the lungs. And just a few more. And on our next inhale, we'll bring the arms back up, bringing yourselves back forward. This time we'll exhale the left arm down, just slightly rotating over the side. Breathing into that right side body, feeling that slight bend in the back. Again, we're just waking everything up, so we don't want to be too deep. Taking those deep breaths here. And on the next inhale, we'll bring ourselves back up, bringing that left arm up. Exhale, dropping that right arm down, folding over that side. Feeling that left side with those deep inhales and exhales. Feeling that stretch all the way through that side body. Again, trying to breathe deeply into that side. And on that next inhale, we'll bring ourselves back up, bringing that right arm up. As we exhale, we'll rotate the hands out, dropping the arms down. And we'll go ahead and take a hold of those hands behind the back. So we'll kind of clasp the fingers together and just start to push the elbows together, push the shoulder blades together, and start to bring the gaze up towards the ceiling, opening up that chest. If you want, you can push the hands away from the back or rest them just on the lower back or lower, whatever's comfortable. Feeling that nice stretch in the chest, opening up that heart. Taking those deep breaths here. And as we exhale, we'll start to relax the shoulders, release the hands. Let the hands come down by the side. Give them a little wiggle around. And we'll start to go into some of our sun salutes. So we'll come to the top of our mats. As we inhale, we'll bring the arms up, bring the gaze up towards the thumbs. Exhale, swan diving ourselves forward over the legs. Inhale, coming halfway, so sliding those hands right under those knees. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Bringing those arms with us. Exhale, the arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, half lift. I'm sorry, all the way up. Exhaling the arms down. I apologize for that. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale to that swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Bringing those arms with us. Exhaling the arms down. All right, we'll add some more to that. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back into either a high plank or drop onto the knees. As we exhale, we're going to come all the way onto the mat. Inhale, just lifting that chest. Exhale down. Inhale, go back to down dog so we can pass through all fours here. Lift those hips up to the sky. Taking a breath in our down dog. And the next inhale, walk those feet up to the hands. Fold over the legs. And inhale, coming all the way up. Bringing those arms with us. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to that high plank or dropping onto the knees. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, just lifting that chest. Exhale, down. Inhale, back to that down dog. Taking a breath here. And inhale, step all the way to the hands. Fold over those legs. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, arms down. We'll do that one more time. So we'll inhale those arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank or onto the knees. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, just lifting that chest. Exhale, down. Inhale, back to down dog. Taking a breath here. As we inhale, we're going to step the feet to the hands. Folding over those legs. And inhale, come all the way up. Bringing those arms with us. Exhaling down. We'll exhale, bring the hands just down by the side. Palms facing forward. We'll take just a breath here. So take a second to close the eyes. Taking a deep breath. We're recentering, regrounding ourselves. All right, we're gonna go ahead, open the eyes. We're gonna step the feet so they're about hip distance, maybe shoulder distance apart. Give us a little bit wider of a base. And we're gonna inhale, bringing our arms up. And as we exhale, we're just gonna slowly start to tilt the upper body forward, hinging out those hips. And we're gonna hold about halfway with the hands facing out. If it's too much, we can take the hands, placing them on the hips, or we can always bring them out to the side, kind of like a T, I guess, or an airplane. With the hands out forward, that's gonna be the most on the back. So we have different options here. We're using the lower back, the hips, to keep us up steady. So try to keep a nice long back here. Try not to fold it forward. We'll hold this for just a couple more breaths. And as we exhale, we're gonna just pull ourselves all the way down, releasing the back, releasing the neck. Taking a few breaths here. Let's actually go ahead and release. If hands are on the mat, we'll bring them so they're holding each elbow. Just letting the arms fall, letting the head fall, putting a little bit of a bend in the knees. And just slowly kind of rotate side to side. And then we'll just kind of come center, holding those elbows for just a second. And then releasing the hands down. We'll put a bigger bend in those knees, take those hands, place them on the thighs, and slowly roll the back up. Stacking each vertebrae on top of the other. The head, neck, shoulders last to come up. Rotating our shoulders back and down. Taking a breath here. We're going to go into a little bit of a balance pose. So we're going to have our hands out to our sides. Find that spot that's directly in front of you. Gaze down on the floor somewhere. Something that's not moving. That'll help you with your balance. So we'll start with that left foot planted. We're going to slowly start to roll up on those right toes. Bringing that knee up. And then we're going to cross it over that left leg. And if we can, hook that foot behind the calf. If not, you can just kind of let it hang where it's at. If you have a block or anything, you can put the block on the floor and set the toes on it. Or if it's too much with the balance, you can just cross the legs with those toes tapping on the floor. That'll help you a little bit with the balance part. So kind of sit into that knee. When you feel steady and you found the balance, we'll bring the arms up in front, bending at the elbows. We'll take that right arm, crossing it underneath the left, bringing the hands together in front of us if we can. Trying to keep those arms at a 90 degrees, so we don't want to drop them down, trying to keep them up. So we're squeezing the inner thighs together, squeezing the elbows together, trying to keep that balance, trying to keep that gaze on that spot that's not moving. Making sure we're breathing, using the breath to help us in this balance. Just a few more breaths here. And then we'll release the hands slowly, release the legs slowly, and shake that leg out. Shake the other leg, shake the arms. And we'll go ahead and step that right leg back, nice and long on the mat. So that back foot is parallel with the back of our mat. Our front foot is facing forward. We want to make sure those hips are nice and even, so we can put the hands on the hips, make sure they feel pretty even. And we'll put a bend in that front knee. And when we feel ready, we'll take the hands, placing them out to the sides, taking that gaze, going right over that front middle finger. Remembering to keep that bent knee over the ankle. Breathing into the pose. Should feel very steady in this pose. So if someone gave you a tap, you wouldn't move around too much. Making sure to keep the arms nice and parallel so we don't want to drop any arms down. Taking a few more breaths here. And we're going to keep this nice wide stance, but we're going to go ahead and straighten that front leg. And we're slowly going to start to shift ourselves forward and then tilting ourselves down. So the back arm comes straight up. The gaze can either be up at the thumb, to the side wall, or down at the foot. We can have the hand either on the shin, up on the thigh. We want to try to stay away from that knee. I want to try to keep a nice long back, so we don't want to arch ourselves forward. So wherever is going to keep us with that long back. We're going to breathe into that pose. Feel again, those inner thighs are almost twisting towards each other, just how we were when we were in our balance. Hold this for just a little bit longer. Taking one more breath here. And as we exhale, we'll put bend back in that knee, bringing ourselves back up. We'll take that front foot, rotate it so we're nice and parallel with the mat. So we want both feet on about an even line with each other. We're going to go into a little bit of a goddess squat here. So we can either keep the feet facing forward, or if it's more comfortable, you can rotate them so they're pointing towards the corners of the mat, whatever's comfortable for you. And we'll slowly start to sink the hips down. So we'll take the hands, place them on the hips to start with, and just slowly start to sink those hips down. Kind of like we're going to sit into a stool, trying to put that weight in those heels so we were light on those toes. And then we'll bring the arms out to the side, fingers nice and wide. So nice wide squat here. This is our goddess squat. Take a few breaths here. If it gets to be too much with the hands up, we can always place them back on the hips. We'll take one more deep breath. Exhaling it out. And as we inhale, we'll bring ourselves back up and then start to fold ourselves forward. We can adjust the feet if the toes are pointing out to now point straight forward. Let ourselves just relax for a second here. And we'll take the hands, place them in front of the face, and slowly start to walk ourselves over to the front of the mat, rotating those feet. And then we'll step that back foot forward. Again, we'll fold over our legs. And then slowly start to bring ourselves all the way up. Bringing those arms with us. Exhaling them down. Let's go ahead and release the hands down by the sides. Opening those palms out. Taking a second here. Close the eyes. Take just a few breaths before we move on to that other side. If we've lost the breath at all, we'll use this moment right here to catch it. If the mind started to wander, thinking, oh, these muscles, try to bring it back right here to focus on the breath. And we'll go ahead and open those eyes. Let the hands just kind of relax by the sides. And we'll go ahead and shuffle those feet out so they're about that hip distance or shoulder distance, about a little bit wider of a stance. We'll inhale, bringing those arms up. And as we exhale, start to tilt ourselves forward into that halfway fold. Again, we can have the arms straight out, over like an airplane, or on the hips, whatever's comfortable for that back. Remembering to try to keep that nice long back here. Try not to arch it forward, keeping the neck nice and long. Taking just a few more breaths here. One more deep breath. Exhale it out. And then slowly just start to let yourself come down into that full fold. We'll take a moment here. Let the head relax. Let the arms relax. Let that lower back release. Go ahead and take a hold of those elbows again. And slowly just shift side to side. Helping that back release just a little bit more. And then come into stillness in the center, holding those elbows for just a second. And then releasing the hands down, putting that bend in those knees, taking the hands, placing them on the thighs, and rolling up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Bringing that head up, rolling those shoulders down, and taking that breath here. And exhaling it out. All right, we'll move on to that balance on the other side. So we want the hands out, kind of give us that stability. Finding that spot directly in front of us. It's kind of down on the ground, not moving. And we'll slowly start to roll those left toes up. Bringing that knee up. And then crossing that leg over if we can. Again, we can hook that foot around the calf. If we have a block, we can kind of set that foot on it. Or again, we can just have the toe tapping on the ground with that leg across. Whatever's comfortable. Sitting into that leg. And then those inner thighs, again, are squeezing in towards each other. And when we feel balance, we'll bring those arms up. We'll take that left arm, placing it underneath this time. And bringing those palms together. Again, we want those elbows at about 90 degrees out from the body. Keeping those arms up. Squeezing the legs in, squeezing the elbows in. Using the breath to help us with that balance. Maybe this side's a little bit more difficult. Maybe it's a little more easy. Completely normal to have one side a little bit looser, a little easier to balance than the other. Take one more breath. And exhale it out. And then release it down. Shake those legs out. Shake those arms out. And then we'll come to the top of our mats. We'll step that left leg back nice and long. So that back foot's parallel with the back of our mat. Those hips are nice and even with each other. When we feel steady, we're going to put a bend in that front knee. Bring the arms out. Gaze over that front middle finger. Again, we want to try to keep those arms nice and parallel, so we don't want to drop any down. Keeping that knee over that ankle. Breathing into it. Feeling nice and steady. Feeling equal weight in both feet. Sealing down that back outer edge of that foot. And breathing. Take one more breath here. Exhaling it out. And we'll go ahead and straighten that front leg. And we're going to start to slowly shift that upper body over and then tilting down. That back arm coming up and straight overhead. Gaze up at the thumb, at the side, or down at the foot. The hand can be on that shin, up on the thigh, trying to avoid that knee. Again, nice long back, so don't arch forward. And we're squeezing those inner thighs together. Taking a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale and exhale. And as we inhale, start to put the bend in that front knee, bringing ourselves back up. And we'll rotate that front foot. So now we're again parallel with this other foot on that same line. And then take whatever stance you want, either feet facing forward or rotating them out. So if we're rotated out, we're pointing at the sides of our mat, those corners. So we're gonna do our goddess squat again, but we're gonna add a little bit to it here. So we'll add a little bit more movement. So we're gonna sink the hips back, and as we sink the hips back, we're gonna bring the hands up to the side. And then as we inhale, we're gonna come up, bringing our hands up into a star. Exhale, bringing down into that squat. Inhale, coming up into that star. Exhaling down. Inhaling into the star. Exhaling down. Inhaling into that star. Exhaling down. We are our last one. So inhale up to that star. Exhale, folding ourselves forward over the legs. Adjusting those feet. Letting ourselves just hang. Taking one more breath here. And we'll take the hands, placing them under the face. Slowly start to walk ourselves towards the front of that mat, rotating those feet. And this time we're going to step our leg back into a down dog. And we're slowly going to come onto our knees. Untuck those toes. So we're going to stay on the hand or the knees, but we're going to come down. So walk the hands out so they're nice and long. Coming down onto the forearms, and then just kind of drop the head down onto the mat. So this is our puppy dog pose. So it's a little smaller version of our full down dog. You want to try to keep those hips over the knees. Taking a few more breaths here. We'll take one more breath. Exhaling it out. And then we'll slowly start to lift the head up, lifting those elbows up, walking the hands back. We're going to stay up on the knees. And then slowly start to shift the weight down into the heels. So we're up on the shins here, and we're just going to bring the arms back behind us if we can. And we're going to do a little push with the hips up to get a little back bend here. So we want to make sure to keep the front body engaged. So we're gonna start to slowly lift the hips up, just bringing the back up, bringing the gaze up. Taking a few breaths here. And then slowly start to sink those hips back down. And we'll walk the hands back forward. And come onto those hands and those knees. Placing the hands right under those shoulders, knees are right under those hips. We're gonna inhale, drop the belly down, bring the gaze up. Exhale, rolling that spine up, tucking that chin into the chest. Inhale, dropping the belly down. Exhale, rolling that spine. Inhale, dropping down. Exhale, rolling up. Inhale, dropping it down. Exhale, rolling it up. And inhale, dropping it down. And exhale, roll it up. And we'll inhale, just coming to a neutral spine. So we're gonna come into a pigeon pose. So we're gonna bring the right knee forward. So it might be easiest to take the left foot like we're going into a high plank, coming up onto the toes. And then just shifting that right knee forward. We'll set that back knee down, dropping that foot down. Adjusting the knee. So the more forward your knee is, the easier it is it's going to be on your hip. The more parallel your shin is with the mat, the more you're going to get into the stretch. So pick whatever is comfortable for you. And then we'll start just slowly easing down into it. So you want to make sure to keep the hips even. So that bent knee hip, we don't want to roll it down that right hip. So try to keep them even. So if you have to shove a pillow or a blanket or something under it to keep it up. And then we'll just slowly start to bring ourselves into the pose. So we could just stay right here. We're not feeling too much of a stretch and want to get a little bit deeper. We can drop onto the elbows. And from our elbows, the last drop, well, there might be actually a couple more. We can stack the hands, placing the head on the hands, or removing the hands and coming down onto the mat. Whatever position you take here, just remember to keep those hips nice and parallel. Breathing into the hip. And it could take a second for it to loosen. So if you're up and you feel that hip starting to loosen up, you can try coming down. At any point in this stretch, if it starts to hurt or pull or anything, back out of it. But we'll hold this for just a little bit to allow that hip to loosen up. This is a good stretch to do if you end up sitting all day. Those hip flexor muscles start to shorten from sitting, so this can help lengthen them back out. Go ahead and wiggle the toes of that right foot. Sometimes you can fall asleep a little bit in this, that toe, that foot. So by wiggling those toes, it kind of helps keep that blood flow in there. Breathing into the hip. And take just a few more breaths here. And take one more breath. Exhaling it out. All right, we want to slowly move out of the pose. So if the head is on the mat, we want to bring the arms in, slowly lifting the head, placing the hands where the head was, bringing the elbows in, placing the hands where the elbows were, and then starting to come up. Slowly roll down onto that right hip to come up off of it. Releasing that right leg out, shaking it out, wiggling the toes around. And then we'll move on to the other side. So we'll come back up onto those hands and those knees. Realigning ourselves here. And then if we want, we can take that right foot, stretching it back like we're gonna go into that plank. And shifting that left knee forward. Releasing that back leg down, untucking those toes. Again, we want to remember to keep those hips nice and even. So if we need to grab that pillow, blanket, or anything to tuck under that left hip, we can do that here. Again, the knee is our anchor, so the more to the side it is, the more stretch you're going to get. So we can stay upright here, or we can drop onto the elbows. Allowing that leg to release a little bit in between our steps here. So if we're going lower, we want to take just a second to allow that hip to adjust to the stretch. And then if we're on the elbows, we want to drop down to those stacked hands. And lastly, we can take the head, just place it directly on the mat. Wherever you're at, remembering to breathe into that hip, allowing those muscles to lengthen out and relax throughout the stretch. Again, at any point in time during this, you can go to a higher position, take a little bit of the strain off the hip if it gets to be too much. Always remembering to keep those hips nice and even. Go ahead and wiggle those left toes. Get that circulation going into them. Taking those deep breaths here. Sending it all into that left hip. Take a few more breaths here. Allowing that hip to loosen up just a little bit more. Taking one more deep inhale. And exhaling it out. Slowly starting to come out of the pose by lifting the head. Bringing the hands in. Bringing those elbows in. And then hands where the elbows were. Bringing ourselves up. And then rolling slowly onto that left hip. Bringing that right leg around, kicking that left leg straight out, and wiggling it around. And we'll go ahead and bring the knees in. Kind of sit up on the sit bones a little bit, bringing the hands behind us. And then we'll slowly take the feet about width of the mat. And then we'll drop the knees just side to side here, just kind of loosening up the hips, loosening up the knees, getting that blood flow a little bit more back into the legs. And go as fast or as slow as is comfortable here. Maybe holding one side down a little bit longer than the other, whatever's comfortable. And then we'll bring both legs back up, dropping the legs down onto the mat, straight on in front of us. We'll bring ourselves back up. Rocking again, so we're up on those sit bones. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale, folding over those legs. Trying to keep that long back here. So we want to round the back forward. So keeping that length in the back means that the hands are on the shins or even up on the thighs, wherever's comfortable. Feeling that stretch down the backs of both legs and also in our lower back. Sending the breath wherever it needs to go right now. And we'll take the hands, place them on the mat right next to the legs. Slowly start to walk ourselves back up. We'll bring the feet in together towards the hips. Rocking up on those sit bones. And then slowly starting to fold over the legs. Getting that stretch in those hips. In that lower back again. And trying to keep that nice length in the back. So again, we're not rounding that back forward. Breathing into the stretch, breathing into the hips. Trying not to push down on those knees. Just letting them hang wherever's comfortable. If you feel that you're starting to arch the knees up, back out of the stretch a little bit, and that will kind of help them relax. Sending that breath here into the hips again. Taking those deep breaths. And we'll take the hands, place them on the mat. Slowly give ourselves a little push up. We'll take those feet, kick them straight out in front of us. We'll take the left leg, bringing that foot up. And then we're going to cross that foot over. So it's on the outside of that right knee. Sitting up nice and tall. And we'll inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to twist the torso towards that bent knee. Bringing that right arm alongside that thigh. And bringing the left arm behind us. If we can get that gaze around. Wherever's comfortable on that neck. Breathing into that twist. Maybe you find that the twist is a little bit deeper than it was when we first started today. Muscles are a little bit looser, a little more relaxed. We'll take one more breath here. Exhaling it out. And then slowly start to bring ourselves back forward. We'll uncross that foot. Bring that right foot up. Cross that right foot over. Sitting up nice and tall. Taking an inhale here. And as we exhale, twisting towards that bent knee, bringing that left arm alongside the thigh. That right arm back behind us. Again, the gaze can be over that back shoulder, or wherever is comfortable on that neck. Breathing into the twist. Taking inventory on this side. Maybe it's now a little bit looser also. And we'll take one more breath here. And bring ourselves back forward, uncrossing those legs. And we'll slowly start to roll our way all the way onto our backs. Bring those knees up into the chest, taking a hold of the legs, and slowly rock side to side. And we'll go ahead and release those legs, letting the feet come onto the mat, and then slowly dropping one leg at a time. We'll take the arms stretching up and overhead. Do one last big stretch. So we'll stretch those arms up, stretch those legs down. Full body stretch here. And then relax it down. Let the legs fall wherever's comfortable. Bring those arms down by your sides and then resting them on the mat. We'll close the eyes. Begin deepening the inhales and exhales to refocus on that breath. Trying to clear the mind. Letting all the stresses of the day go away with every exhale. Feeling ourselves sink into our mat. Feeling the warmth from the practice that we just had. Taking these next few minutes just to be with yourself and let go of anything that you're holding on to. slowly start to bring a little life back into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes, rolling those wrists and ankles, rocking the head from side to side. Begin to deepen the inhales and exhales. And we'll slowly take one foot, place it on the mat, and then follow it by the other foot. Bringing one knee into the chest, followed by the other. Taking a hold of those legs, rocking side to side. And when you feel ready, roll onto your right side. With your right side grounded by the earth, leaving your left side open to the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the gifts the universe has to offer you today. When you're ready, come up to a comfortable seated position. We'll take the hands, place them right in front of the heart. We'll close our eyes one last time. Take a deep inhale and exhale it all out. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this evening. Have a good rest of your night. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.